This presentation is designed to give you an overview of the CSU admissions and the CSU application. If you're planning on applying to the CSU and you're hoping to start fall 2016, by the end of spring 2016, you must complete at least 60 CSU transferable units, have a minimum GPA of 2.0 in all of your CSU transferable coursework, complete at least 30 units of general education courses, and complete the 4 core courses, also known as a Golden 4, of general education with a grade of C or pass or better: oral communication, written communication, critical thinking, and mathematics. Those are called the Golden 4, and they must be complete with a C or better or pass. You can complete other general education courses with the grade of D. Of course, you want to do that. You don't want to do that too often, but that they do accept Ds in their other GE areas except for those Golden 4. Now, there are a few exceptions. The following campuses allow students to complete their Golden 4 by summer 16 rather than spring, and that's CSU Bakersfield and CSU Maritime Academy. So you have a little bit of leeway there, but your best bet is to complete those Golden 4 by end of spring 16, just to play it safe. The application process. To apply for CSU admissions, you need to complete and submit the application, which is located at www.csumentor.edu. You have until November 30th, 2015 to do that. So the filing period, the priority filing period, is October 1st through November 30th. Every year it's the same time frame. Some CSUs will open up their application process again after November 30th, but that's not a guarantee. So if you're planning on going or applying to CSU, make sure you do that by the 30th of November. And there's a $55 application fee for each school that you apply to. There are fee waivers available for students who have a financial need, and when you're completing the CSU mentor application, near the end of the application, they'll explain what that waiver, what the process is for getting approved for that fee waiver. Once you hit submit on that application, you're going to get an email from each campus that you applied to, and they're going to ask you to activate your campus-specific account or portal. So you'll receive instructions from each school that you apply to, and you'll be given a username and password to start. And then, of course, once you get in there, you'll have to create or set up your own username and password so you have access to that account. It is your responsibility to monitor the status of your application frequently. In that portal and through email, they will be sending you information about deadlines, requirements, upcoming events, all the things that you need to know about preparing yourself for transfer. It is your job to monitor that and keep on top of all the deadlines that are asked of you. I didn't see the email, or I didn't know, is not an acceptable excuse. And I have seen some CSUs rescind admissions, meaning they took it away from the student because they didn't submit a certain document at a certain time frame. So be really mindful of those deadlines. Required documents. Many CSU campuses are now admitting students based on self-reported information, which means that whatever you put on the application, if you put that you have a 4.0 GPA, that you completed 60 transferable units, that you completed the Golden 4, they can admit you based on that information. Of course, once the official transcripts are received and they see something different, they can rescind that admission. So be real mindful of what you put on that application. Of course, you want to put accurate, honest information in there, but be real careful. They're going to ask you about GPA, attempted units. Just be real mindful and be thoughtful and careful when filling out that application. Some schools, just a very few, will request your official transcripts before making a decision, but most cases they'll make it off self-reported. And some schools will also use unofficial transcripts before making a decision. Our local schools, San Jose State and East Bay. So San Jose State, they'll admit you provisionally based on self-reported information. So whatever you put on that application, they can admit you based on that, but they will hold registration until your final official sealed transcripts are received by them, and then they will confirm your admissions. They have a right to cancel your admission if they see anything that looks not admissible. So if your GPA truly wasn't at least a 2.0 and you didn't have 60 units and you don't have those golden 4, they can choose to rescind that admissions. So let's say you're taking English 1B, critical thinking, this semester and you don't pass it. They could rescind your admissions because you do not have, or you will not have completed those golden 4. So be really mindful of that. East Bay is the same thing. They'll admit you based on self-reported information, but they will hold registration until the final record is received, showing completion of those 4 areas and the minimum number of units. After you've been accepted, so every CSU campus, again, will continue to notify you through their portal, but at some point in time, you're going to have to make your decision. You're going to have to submit what they call an intent to enroll, which confirms that you will, yes, attend this specific campus. So my recommendation to students is to, once you get all your acceptance letters and you have your financial aid awards, if you did apply for financial aid, lay them all out on the table, look at every offer, visit the campuses if you can, and then make an informed decision as far as which CSU school you're going to go to. They do require a deposit, and if you do intend to enroll at a school, pay the deposit. Oftentimes that's not refundable, so you really want to make sure that your decision is a good, well-informed decision before you submit that intent to enroll and submit that deposit. New student orientation is not required for transfer students. It's some schools. Some schools it is, some schools it's not. However, regardless of that, you should definitely plan to go. The CSU, any university is different than community college, and you're going to want to understand how they run their program there, how they run their evaluations, how the campus works, the student services that are available to you there. It's so important. And then, of course, to meet other students. All those are valuable things that you're going to want to have done before starting your first semester there. You're going to want to register for the writing skills test, and the sooner the better. As soon as you complete English 1B, that's the best time to take the writing skills test, because a lot of the content from English 1B is going to be on that writing skills test. The writing skills test is a test designed to ensure that you are ready for upper division level coursework. So they're testing your writing skills and some reading skills to make sure that you are ready for the rigors of upper division GE and major prep or major coursework. If you don't pass that test the first time, you can take it one more time. If you don't pass it the second time, many policies vary, but most CSU campuses will require you then to take a course during your first semester that you're there and then take the test one more time. You cannot start any upper division GE courses without passing that writing skills test. So if you go to the individual campus website, they give you some sample questions and let you know how to best prepare for the writing skills test. Once you take that test at one school, you can go to any campus to take it. The results go to all the schools that you apply to. So just take the test once for the CSU system. The results get sent out system-wide, and then whatever school you choose to go to will have that information. There's also a GE certification that you want to submit by the campus-specific deadline, and we'll talk about that in the next slide. GE certification versus Certificate of Achievement. GE certification. This is the official notice verifying that you have completed all of your lower division GE requirements. So if you're following the CSU GE breadth, or you're following IGETC, if you complete that whole GE pattern, one of those GE patterns, you can request from Admissions and Records a GE certification. And that verifies that you've completed all of your lower division GE. So once you get to the four-year school, you will not be held to any additional lower division GE coursework. Now, each university does require either 9 to 12 or 15 units of upper division GE. That's something separate. But your lower division GE will be complete once you complete the CSU GE breadth pattern or the IGETC pattern. This is separate from a transcript. So it's a separate request from a transcript, but you're going to want to submit or request the certification at the same time that you request your transcript, because oftentimes admissions and records will send them both in the same envelope to the school. You must complete the form. The form right now, the certification request form, is on the Admissions and Records website. So if you go to Mission College, go to Student Services, go to Admissions and Records, and there's a link on the left-hand side called Forms and Requests, and you'll see the certification request form. That's what the form you need to fill out to get the certification submitted. If you only have 1 or 2 courses left on the CSU GE Breath or the IGETSA, you can complete or you can request a partial certification. That's fine. But again, what that means is you still have some lower division GE to do. So the promise of you not doing any additional lower division GE at the CSU will not hold. You will have to complete those 2 additional lower division GE ASAP. The goal is to complete the CSU or the IGETSA prior to transfer. The Certificate of Achievement in Transfer Studies is something different. So this is an actual award. Because you have completed all of your IGETSA or CSU GE Breath patterns, you are eligible to receive an award called Certificate of Achievement in Transfer Studies -CSU GEB or IGETSA, depending on which one you complete. Because of this, you're invited to commencement, and you get the certificate noted on your transcript. To participate in the commencement, so to go to the graduation or commencement ceremony, you have to apply for this award by March. I always tell students, apply as soon as you can when you're in your last semester of coursework. That's for any associate's degree for transfer, or certificate. When you're in your last semester, so once you're enrolled in classes, early February, that's when you go online to the Admissions and Records website, go to Forms and Requests, and you can see the applications for degree and certificate on that website, or on that page. Many of you are applying for an associate degree for transfer, also known as an AAT or an AST. And that's a great thing. There's so many benefits that come with this degree. One, you're guaranteed admission to the CSU system with junior standing. So as long as you complete all the major prep on the curriculum guide for the AST or AAT, and you complete all of your CSU or IGETSA, then you are guaranteed admission to a CSU campus. Unfortunately, not to a specific CSU campus, but you're definitely guaranteed to get in somewhere to a CSU campus. Again, completing the major prep, the GE, as well as the 60 units and the 2.0 GPA. Let's not forget those. However, you do get priority admission consideration to your local campus. So if you're completing the AAT in psychology and you apply to San Jose State as a psychology major, you will get bumped to the front of the line. You will get priority admission consideration to San Jose State because you're applying to a local CSU into a similar major. And there's more. Because San Jose State is impacted, it's tough even with students with perfect grades to get in these days. So the campus is impacted and all their programs are impacted. But having this degree will give you a GPA bump or a GPA advantage. So again, if you're completing the psychology AAT and you're applying to San Jose State in psychology, when they look at the admissions requirements, no matter what your GPA is, you're going to get a 0.1 bump. So if your GPA is 3.2, they're going to see 3.3 GPA. And again, that gets you to the top of the line, the front of the line for admissions consideration. Once you get there, the CSU cannot require that you repeat any course. So let's just say we offer a course here that's not articulated at San Jose State. That's pretty rare, but let's just say you're going to maybe Long Beach and we offer a course that's not articulated there. They cannot make you repeat that course as part of this program. If you weren't getting an AAT or AST, they could make you repeat a course because they may think that you still need that content. But with this degree, they cannot make you repeat a course that's similar to those you already completed at the CSU or at the CCC, the community college. And CSU is also prohibited from requiring more than 60 units at that CSU once you get there. So you complete the psychology AAT, you transfer to San Jose State in a psychology major. You're guaranteed to get out of there within 60 units. They cannot make you take any more, regardless of what other requirements they have for their local students and for their non-AAT or AST students. They cannot make you take more than 60 units. So you're guaranteed to get out of there, if you plan it right, in 2 years. Here is a current list of our AAT and AST degrees. So you have a lot of options to choose from. The state, that's the California, the state is actually working on creating more degrees, and as they create more, if we have the curriculum, then we will add more. But right now, this is our list. I know we have economics in the pipeline waiting to get approved, but other than that, I think this is a very thorough list of our degrees. Okay, so now you've completed this workshop. You're familiar with the process, what to do after you've been accepted, GE certs and certifications, all that is clear to you. It's time to apply. So go on to CSU Mentor, click on the apply button at the top of the page, and then once you click on that, you're going to want to click on undergraduate admissions application, and that will start the application. Good luck, and if you have any questions, please feel free to post them to the discussion board.